So this morning, folks, I finished watching Batman The Long Halloween Part 2. But before I tell you about that particular movie, have a quick look at this footage. So it's from the new Flash movie being released next year. In fact, it's the 4th of November, 2022. And this was shot in Glasgow in Scotland. And yet you can see a stuntman on a bat bike just racing through the city and people just gasping as they see the image of the bat. I mean, can you imagine living in Glasgow, stepping out one day to get your cup of coffee and you see Batman whizzing by on a busy road? That's like not the most everyday occurrence you're going to notice, is it? So yeah, I'm kind of jealous people got to see that and who live in Glasgow in Scotland. I might have to move up there in the future actually, just in case they film more DC movies up there. That would be really awesome.
How I wonder what your
business with the Roman ends tonight.
Now, this is the second part of a two-part story for Batman The Long Halloween. If you want to see my first review, it is right here. Go and click over and watch that right now, or after this review. I won't be dropping any spoilers, but I probably will be telling a little bit more about what I felt about this film, how he definitely influenced Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. But there are so many things to pick apart here. Like, I've never read the graphic novel by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. So if anybody wants to tell me a bit more in the comments below about what's different from this version to the comic book version, please do leave the comments. So I'll be curious to know. So when we last left off, Batman was captured by Poison Ivy, and the way the episode opens, it's I thought it was a dream sequence. But no, Poison Ivy has got Bruce Wayne in her snares, in her vines, shall I say. Now, there were three women who stood out in this film for me. So the first character is Gilda, aka Mrs. Harvey Dent. And for a while, I thought she's just a typical emo woman, or the emo looking woman, just moaning and groaning. You know, Harvey's never there by her side. But in this episode, you actually find out why she behaves that way. You understand. There's a big revelation about her particular character, and I really appreciated what they did. I don't know if that's how it is in the actual graphic novel, so again, someone could let me know below. Also, the second person was Sophia Falcone. Awesome. She's a badass character. I didn't know there was so many family members, if you like, family in parentheses, from Carmine Falcone, once again played by the brilliant Titus Welliver. But Sophia Falcone had some serious issues going on actually, wanting to be by her father's side, being part of the ballroom meetings, and he wouldn't allow it. So I kind of like they were almost going to cross that threshold. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Sopranos in some ways. I don't know, I got that Sopranos, Tony Soprano kind of vibe. And I gotta say, Selena Kyle, again, aka Catwoman, she was absolutely incredible. I'm glad they kept the short ears on that character. I don't like her with big ears, but she was she's a very pivotal part of this whole story. She's always popping up in places where you don't expect her to, and I kind of appreciated that. Again, Alfred the Butler, he's kind of like the Michael Caine of this version, Alfred Pennyworth in this cartoon. I thought he was excellent. And yeah, we get to see the origin of Harvey Two-Face. The way they do it here is a lot more, I don't know, it is definitely a lot more psychologically based, whereas in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight movie, it wasn't so much that, because we saw Dent, as played by Aaron Eckhart, as more of a do-gooder for Gotham City, and he didn't have a personality disorder as this particular storyline suggests he does. So I really, really appreciated that. And yeah, I mean, the fact that Harvey Dent teams up with Solomon Grundy, and they go through the whole nursery rhyme sequence again, which I thought was excellent. David Dastmalchian as the Calendar Man. Yeah, there's a nice little bit of flirtation going on between him and Bruce Wayne. I do like that, or Batman, I should say. And he's really good. Now, I don't know if he's that buff in the comics, but he's if he's not, he's certainly been given a makeover in this particular outing, and I thought he was a very compelling character. Granted, we don't see a lot of him, but you know, underneath that psychosis, you know, he knows what's going on. And there's a very funny sequence actually when the prison warden walks up to him and talks to him about the eve of Halloween, and that is Taco Tuesdays. I love that moment. It was great. The animation is so good. In one or two places it kind of falters a little bit. You see, like at the very beginning when you see Bruce and Selena standing in some fields, but she looked a bit strangely drawn, like she was like that, almost popping in and out of the frame. I thought that was a little bit strange. I don't know who didn't quality check that part there, but apart from that, you know, the voiceover from Jensen Ackles as Bruce Wayne and Batman, completely badass. Like, Jensen Ackles has nailed that. It'll probably be sacrilegious to say I don't miss Kevin Conroy in this instance, because it is a younger Batman, so that kind of makes sense. I did like that. So in terms of the echelon of great voiceovers or great Batman voiceovers, Jensen Ackles is definitely in that crowd. Now, I will say, when you watch this film, you'll be thinking about Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. You'll think about it constantly. Now, what's interesting is that how Nolan and his brother formulated that sequel and how they changed things around. So I was really, really surprised. Like, yeah, I know that The Dark Knight is based on aspects of The Long Halloween, which, by the way, gets an explanation in this movie. I didn't know why they called it that until Carmine Falcone has a chat with Batman and mentions this. So I thought that was really, really cool. And yeah, when Christopher Nolan took part of this story, you can tell that he really twisted things around in favor of a film narrative. So I kind of see where they were going in the end with all of this. So the third act is fantastic. You know, like basically it is like Batman and Catwoman versus the Rogues Gallery. It is awesome. Kind of ironic, because normally you would consider Catwoman as being part of Batman's Rogue Gallery, but really, yeah, she kind of isn't really part of that, and I'm glad they went in that direction. There are a couple of revelations, none that I saw coming, like who the Holiday Killer is. Never saw that one coming either, so that was a bit of a shock. I had it wrong all along, so that was pretty amazing. And stick around. If you forward to the end credits, there is a very funny post-end credit scene. I was laughing out loud. Whether that sets up something else in the Batverse, I don't know, but it seemed to indicate that it would. But I liked, yeah, it gave me a big chuckle actually. So on that one, guys, Batman, The Long Halloween, Part 2. What would I give this story? I'll give it the max. Well, it won't be the maximum, but it will be a very generous 4 out of 5 hot dogs. So folks, if you enjoyed this review today, I'll do many more like this, plus reactions on my channel, which is growing ever so steadily, which is pretty awesome. So thank you very much to the new people who have subscribed, and I hope you're liking what you're seeing so far. If you want to make any suggestions, I will definitely consider them. And on that one, folks, take it easy. I've got another review that I've already finished filming, and I just want to add a few more assets to the project that I'm editing, and I'm really proud of that one actually. So on that one, guys, take care, and I'll see you real soon.
Nancy, hold all my calls. I have to terminate someone.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.